Welcome to the This Week in Astrology video forecast. This is episode number 69 for the second half of May 2016. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Benjamin Bernstein of astroshaman.com, coming to you from Asheville, North Carolina. I'm an astrologer, shamanic healer, and awakening activator, and it's my pleasure to bring you these twice-a-month astrology forecasts. What's new as we come into the second half of May? Your power to turn thoughts into reality is amplified by a 5-planet Grand Cross starring the law of attraction planet Saturn and Neptune. Prosperity opportunities are also amplified by a Grand Trine with Mercury, Jupiter, and Pluto. The second half of May also features a Jupiter-Saturn square, Mercury turning direct, a Sagittarius full moon, and much more. What's old as we come into this forecast period? We got a waxing moon, several retrograde planets, Mercury through May 22nd, Mars through June 29th, and a couple of slower guys, Saturn through August 13th, Pluto through September 26th. Also, we still have in play several aspect patterns. We have grand trines with Venus, Jupiter, and Pluto. That's through May 17th. We've got another grand trine with Mercury, Jupiter, and Pluto through June 6th. And there's T-squares, Mars-Pallas Vesta through the 25th of May, and a T-square, a big one that lasts 4 months with Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune. That's going all the way through July 1st. So that's already in play, and I've already given you the meanings of these on prior forecasts. So let's now look at the individual days of the forecast period. On Monday, May 16th, the Mercury-Jupiter-Pluto Grand Trine that started on May 6th peaks today, and it peaks again on May 28th, by the way, and it'll wrap up on June 6th. Now, I've already discussed this interpretation of these Grand Trines, and I'll be telling you a little bit more about this Grand Trine a little later in the forecast, but for right now, let's just say that with Mercury in the mix, learning, communication, and short-range travel are also energized. On Tuesday, May 17th, a powerful Get It Done Now energy is being broadcast by a Sun-Mars-Pallas Athena T-square. This dynamic aspect pattern starts today, it peaks on May 21st, and it ends on May 25th. Both masculine aggressiveness from Mars and feminine assertiveness from Pallas Athena are emphasized. So is adaptability with all 3 planets in mutable signs. The Gemini-Sagittarius axis of communication is highlighted. So it's a great time to get your message out to the world, and that's highlighted because we've got the Sun in Gemini and Mars in Sagittarius. No major astrology events on Wednesday, May 18th. On Thursday, May 19th, Venus makes 2 aspects today. A Venus-Neptune quintile with Venus 24 Taurus, Neptune 12 Pisces creates a magical vibe for inspired creativity and connecting with the divine inside you and in others. Venus's placement in Taurus can create financial opportunity and empower law of attraction work. And if you'd like to learn more about law of attraction, I have a little article about it on my site, astroshaman.com. If you go to my search box in the upper right corner, type the words law of attraction made simple, you'll have my article on that come right up. What I did is I tried to say, how simple can I make this and still have it work? On Thursday, May 19th, also, Venus's second aspect, a Venus-Chiron sextile, Venus 25 Taurus, Chiron 25 Pisces, smooths the way for relationship healing and mentoring in both creative and practical matters. On Friday, May 20th, you can pour fresh energy into your feminine assertiveness, strategic planning, and service to a higher cause, thanks to a T-square with Mars, Pallas Athena, and Vesta. This dynamic aspect pattern started on May 10th, peaks today here on May 20th, and it ends on May 25th. This T-square shares 2 members with the other T-square, Sun-Mars-Pallas Athena, that also ends on May 25th. They both feature Mars and Pallas in what I just described, that Sagittarius-Gemini axis of communication, which encourages the sharing of helpful information. Also, on Friday, May 20th, the Sun enters Gemini at 10:36 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This amplifies the energies of learning and communicating. It's also a great time to enjoy plenty of variety, hang in the hood, and connect with siblings, relatives, and neighbors. On Saturday, May 21st, May's full moon lights up the sky at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The moon will be in Sagittarius at 1 degree 13 minutes. Any Sagittarius full moon is great for taking stock of how you're doing in the following areas and making appropriate course corrections: religion, philosophy and life purpose, higher education, higher level teaching, publishing, exposure to and learning from foreign cultures, and joy and celebration. This full moon aligns with the two T-squares I've already talked about, Sun-Mars-Pallas Athena and Mars-Vesta-Pallas Athena. In a nutshell, though, both masculine aggressiveness, Mars, and feminine assertiveness, Pallas Athena, are emphasized. Adaptability, communication, and service to a higher cause are also amplified. I already described the energetic potentials of these aspect patterns earlier in this video forecast. Now, Venus is also a central player in this full moon. She conjoins the Sun in Vesta and opposes the Moon and Mars. Evaluate how your creative expression, finances, and most important relationships are faring. With Venus in Taurus, are you putting enough time and energy into your relationship with nature? Finally, Juno makes a semi-sextile, that little 30-degree angle, to the moon. This puts extra emphasis on the importance of examining the state of your committed romantic and platonic partnerships. The Sabian symbol for this full moon is the ocean covered with whitecaps, most obviously interpreted as roiling emotions. So many people I speak with these days are processing a lot of challenging emotions associated with old wounds and shadow material, and I'm not just talking about my clients. The relationship issues that might be triggered by this full moon's aspects could blow up lots of whitecaps on your personal ocean of emotion. If so, I recommend embracing them as healing opportunities. Use my healing invocations or any other feel it to heal it tool that works well for you to let each whitecap wash you a little bit cleaner. To get to my healing invocations, go to astroshaman.com. On a computer in the upper right corner there is that image you're seeing up here, the Heal and Awaken the Invocations purple banner. If you're on a phone or tablet, you'll have to scroll down a bit to find it perhaps. But anyhow, once you get there, click it. And then there's several blog posts on the page it'll take you to. The last one with the screaming man is the Heal and Awaken Invocation article. How you can say just a few words and actually have your divine flush that heavy stuff off you right at the moment. Also, on Saturday, May 21st, the Sun-Mars-Pallas Athena T-square that started on May 17th peaks today on 21st of May, and it ends on May 25th. On Sunday, May 22nd, you can breathe a sigh of relief. Phew! Another Mercury retrograde has run its course. Mercury returns direct here on Sunday, May 22nd at 9:20 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It'll be at 14 degrees 20 minutes Taurus when it turns. You can now begin taking action on the things you've been reflecting on while Mercury was retrograde, but for best results, do not take significant new action until after the next new moon on June 5th. It's always better to start major new stuff when the moon is brightening. Also on Sunday, May 22nd, high-octane, just do it energy can rev up your engine big time under a Sun-Mars opposition. Sun to Gemini, Mars to Sagittarius. These planet sign placements particularly encourage learning and communication. This opposition is also part of the Sun-Mars-Pallas Athena T-square that peaked yesterday. Nothing to report on Monday, May 23rd. On Tuesday, May 24th, pay close attention to your key relationships as Venus opposes Mars. That's Venus 1 Gemini, Mars 1 Sagittarius. The areas of both challenge and flow should be more clear. Make sure you're understanding and being understood. This is also an excellent time to examine how you habitually communicate as a couple. If there are significant communication issues, exploring techniques such as nonviolent communication, also called NVC, together may prove helpful. This Venus-Mars opposition also supports playful sexual experimentation and a let's-try-anything approach to writing and other creative pursuits. Also, on Tuesday, May 24th, Venus transits Gemini today through June 17th. This supports a variety of social interactions and experimenting with different creative modalities. You can also brainstorm new ways to make money. Nothing to report on Wednesday, May 25th. On Thursday, May 26th, it could be challenging to find the right balance between expansion and contraction as Jupiter squares Saturn. Jupiter 14 Virgo, Saturn 14 Sagittarius. Jupiter reaches for the skies while Saturn prefers a locked down container. The challenge for growth tension of this square is somewhat alleviated by the sign placements of the two social planets. Saturn is in Sagittarius, the sign that has the same expansive urges as its ruling planet Jupiter. And Jupiter is in Virgo, which, like Saturn, loves precision, organization, and structure. So finding the right balance between growth and stability might be easier than you think. This combination of planets and signs opens up lots of archetypal possibilities. Some of these include taking a serious, structured approach to better understand the meaning of life, creating improved structures and procedures for your service so you can help more people more effectively, scheduling more time for joy and celebration, stepping more fully into your role as a teacher of things that give people's lives more meaning, systematically exploring the teachings of a foreign culture. This Jupiter-Saturn square will remain in orb, which means close enough to have an influence, through July 21st. Plenty of time to work with this. It's also part of a Jupiter-Saturn-Neptune T-square, one of 2016's most important aspect patterns, which remains in effect through July 1st. On Friday, May 27th, a grand cross based on that Jupiter-Saturn-Neptune T-square I just mentioned comes together in the final days of May. It first manifests as a Sun-Jupiter-Saturn-Neptune Grand Cross, kicking off on May 27th, peaking on June 3rd, ending on June 8th. Venus will join forces with the Sun in Gemini to augment the power of this Grand Cross May 30th through June 7th. Now, on one level, the Sun and Venus will simply be acting as triggers to juice up the power of this T-square with Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune. In a nutshell, the Jupiter-Saturn-Neptune T-square can empower law of attraction manifestation and spiritual embodiment, as well as structural disintegration and inspired reconstruction. I mentioned in my May 9th forecast about how to work more fully with this T-square's energies, so check that out on the prior video forecast, or you can go to astroshaman.com and read in writing on my blog. In addition to its roles as a trigger, the Sun makes it easier to personally embody the T-square's energies. The Sun's placement in the mutable, variety-loving sign of Gemini can inspire you to use law of attraction in many different areas. You might also feel like experimenting with a variety of approaches to deepen your spiritual embodiment. Venus makes it easier to use law of attraction to help you maintain optimal relationships, finances, and creativity. She can also help you forge a deeper relationship with your higher aspects. P.S. As shown, Vesta will also be part of this Grand Cross. She will join the party on June 1st, and I'll talk more about her involvement on the next forecast. On Friday, May 27th also, retrograde Mars re-enters Scorpio today, turning direct on June 29th, and then moving along into Sagittarius on August 2nd. Mars in Scorpio fires up transformative inner work, occult practices, and sacred sexuality. It can also fuel research, investigation, and joint ventures. Scorpio is the sign of great wealth, so this placement can also be great for making money. Also, on Friday, May 27th, giving or receiving inspired mentoring is one great way to use a Sun-Chiron quintile. Sun 7 Gemini, Chiron 25 Pisces. On Saturday, May 28th, the Grand Trine with Mercury, Jupiter, and Pluto that started on May 6th and first peaked on May 16th gets its second and final peak today and ends on June 6th. And as I said earlier in this forecast, I now have a bit more to say about that. The Jupiter-Pluto trine at the core of this aspect pattern supports abundant prosperity, transformative spirituality, deepening your wisdom through higher education, and immersing yourself in a foreign culture. Health and service to others can be transformed and powerfully amplified. With Mercury in the mix, as I said already, learning, communication, and short-range travel are also energized. And that's really just the Cliff's Notes. On May 5th, I wrote a very in-depth forecast describing all this, and you're welcome to check that out on astroshaman.com or listen back to it on the prior video forecast. On Sunday, May 29th, is your relationship going through a rocky patch? Inspiration on how to restore harmony is available with Venus quintile Chiron, Venus 7 Gemini, Chiron 25 Pisces. On Monday, May 30th, Venus becomes the 5th member of the Sun-Jupiter-Saturn-Neptune Grand Cross that started on May 27th, and again, I already spoke about that a few minutes ago. Also, on Monday, May 30th, investigation, research, and detective work are smoothly energized by a Mercury-Pluto trine. Mercury 17 Taurus, Pluto 17 Capricorn. With a Mercury in Taurus, this aspect can also help you focus your thoughts on finances, sacred sensuality, and just being. On Tuesday, May 31st, there's already plenty of prosperity juju in the air, as I've been describing, what with that Mercury-Jupiter-Pluto Grand Trine and that Sun-Venus-Jupiter-Saturn-Neptune Grand Cross in play. In the spirit of unlimited abundance, let's add one more. A Pluto-Ceres square. Pluto, 17 Capricorn, Ceres 17 Aries, can help you generate more riches as the Lord of Wealth dynamically engages with the Goddess of the Harvest. They will be in orb through July 1st. Pluto and Ceres, who's also known as Demeter, also had a well-known mythological encounter. Pluto abducted Ceres' daughter Persephone down into the underworld to be his queen. I won't go into the whole myth here, although I link to a very entertaining summary on my blog at astroshaman.com. But the relevant additional astrological themes are sorrow, mother-daughter relationships, and release and return. If the current dance between Pluto and Ceres is bringing up emotional challenges for you, you might find my healing invocation helpful, and I've mentioned how to get to that already, in clearing the dense energy from your field. What's going to be on the next forecast for the first half of June? All that in a moment. But first, a couple of announcements. Information on everything that follows is in the What's New section on the homepage of astroshaman.com. I'm going to lead an augmented shamanic awakening ceremony at the 3rd annual Lovolution Gathering held in the Blue Ridge Mountains near Asheville, North Carolina. The event, themed Sharing Our Gifts Freely, takes place Friday, June 24th through Monday, June 27th. Bring your open heart and gifts to share with our heart tribe and immerse yourself in epic nature, flowing water, and heartfelt people at Camp Lovolution for 3 days of sacred celebration, learning, and sharing. Experience heart and mind opening workshops, events, and celebrations, including Tantra, singing, compassionate communication, sacred relationship, Qigong, sound healing, yoga, shamanic breathwork, shamanic awakening, keys to empowerment, ecstatic dance, song and fire circle, musical performances, ceremonies, celebrations. You name it, we got it. My augmented shamanic awakening ceremony will guide participants in simple, potent techniques for self-healing, spiritual awakening, and energetically assisting others. Shamanic tools and techniques such as rattling, singing, flowing energy, and other musical instruments will empower the group's experience. I'd also like to mention that EASE, the Embodied Awakening Support Experience, is always available. I host this every week via phone or web to help you enjoy more harmony, grace, and flow in your life, eliminate suffering, increase your intuition and synchronicity, stop that mental chatter and challenging emotion, live each day in a peaceful, awakened state, enjoy support from kindred spirits on your journey, and much more. If you can't catch a live event, we put them all up as MP3s, and you can get full access to the library as soon as you join. And if you're in the Asheville area, I do a Shamanic Awakening meetup every 3rd Tuesday. In fact, I'm doing one this very coming Tuesday as I record this. So that's all the announcements. What's coming up on the next show for the June 1st, June 15 period? Grand Crosses. I've mentioned them already, but both of those Grand Crosses will be peaking next time, and I'll tell you about that. A new Grand Cross I mentioned briefly with Vesta, Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune will be starting up, and I'll tell you how that works. A couple of Yods, Mars and Uranus, will be joining with Venus and the Sun to create those fingers of God. We'll have a Thor's Hammer with Juno, Vesta, Neptune. We'll have a new moon in Gemini. Neptune is going to be squaring Vesta and turning retrograde. Saturn will oppose Vesta. A lot going on. So please join me again around the beginning of June as I put up another forecast and give you, as always, the best use of these astrological energies. I thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my Benjamin Bernstein YouTube channel to be notified when I post new videos. And if you like this video, please share it. This free video forecast is a partner project with iTunes' #1 astrology audio podcast, This Week in Astrology. That's also free. You can get my twice-a-month astrology forecast in writing by subscribing to my free email newsletter at astroshaman.com. Once you're there, you can also link to my Facebook page where I post daily forecasts. My personal services include astrology, shamanic healing, and awakening activation. All are equally effective in person or long distance. My guarantee makes my services risk-free. If you don't feel that your experience was helpful, there's no charge. I also offer other great products and services, many of which are free. To learn more, visit astroshaman.com. Thanks again for watching. I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light your way.